Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to episode 35 of the ENDCAST. Over here we got Orvin.
What up?
And this time we are, things are going to be a little hectic because there's been a lot. There's been a lot to talk about. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. For new people, like always, tech, video games, and other games and other news is what we're going to talk about 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to try to keep it at 30 minutes, and we'll start us off. First, I wanted to talk about this is for the Spanish version though, the Guatemala mobile and broadband internet speed. So I'll jump through that one. That's for my Spanish version of this. Que pues pueden escuchar si lo quieren en YouTube todos los viernes. Every Friday, that's the Spanish version. I want to talk about this 4-in-1 charger because I've been looking at this. Ever since I upgraded to the iPad Pro, I wanted a iPad Pro wireless charger, not completely wireless because there's no wireless port on this thing, but that one, I want to charge to that.
Yeah, I kind of should have. Do they have anything that really utilizes that?
Other than keyboards, no.
It's like barely anything.
So the iPad Pro 11-inch, I used to have like a stand and I put it there and then wirelessly charge. But this thing is the next thing next to that. Like it charges your iPhone, your Apple Watch, AirPods, and iPad. It just has a USB-C that you slide on top, and then you put your Apple Watch with like a little dongle that'll slide out. And it's on Kickstarter, I think. Wait, is it Kickstarter? Yeah, Kickstarter. Kickstarter, and it's 140 for a 3 or a trio. It's 140 for the quad and 120 for trio, meaning I guess it doesn't charge your.
The trio would be nice for me.
Yeah,
I get
work
my
right
phone
there.
on iPad now.
And if you see the picture, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad.
And I want it, but it's Kickstarter, so I usually just wait.
Kickstarter's, it's kind of a hit and miss on those, yeah.
So yeah, definitely that's why I'm like, okay, it's too good to be true. We'll see if I'm wrong. But I wouldn't be surprised if it comes out, because honestly, like let's be honest, like it should come out. Only there's a lot of power there.
I'm just surprised there hasn't been one already.
Yeah,
like when you could say that, then it's already a good idea.
So let's hope it does keep coming. There's this other thing that I read people. So if you're interested in buying one, just follow the link. I'll put it on the description. I definitely wanna get one. The other article I was looking at, it's gonna switch us over, is Amazon and Google smart speakers can eavesdrop in fish owners. The HomePod is safe. The reason is there's the third party access on Alexa and Google speakers is much more broader, more open than Siri. The henceforth Siri's dumb.
Yeah, they're a lot more locked down with everything.
And so definitely there's ways they say that apps are using that when the device is just waiting for you or it thinks it didn't understand you, the app just manages to, I think, fake that it didn't understand you and just keep it going and record it. So there's that. But people, so be careful with those. Definitely, you know where you put your money.
Well, they do it where it sets up like an error message, and then once it tricks the person into thinking that it was done talking or whatever, but then it continues to record, and then third parties can access that information.
Yeah, that's why people be careful. There's this article. I didn't post it here, but what do you think? The article said we have a moral responsibility to let people know of the smart devices in our home for the people that are coming in and visiting.
Yeah.
Do you think we do?
I definitely think there's a responsibility there in somewhat cases.
I think depending on the conversations we're having, maybe.
Yeah. Well.
Or why they came to your house.
Yeah.
What if they came because they're broken? And then you're recording them with your Alexa. And live streaming it to Twitch. Like we are right now. Okay, guys. There's this Pure Excuse Android Authority. I start following them again because I used to, but then I stopped. But I like Android Authority, and here's the thing. Google doesn't do on the Pixel 4 4K 60. And the reasoning says, hi, Pixel 4 supports 4K video recording on the rear camera at 30 FPS. We find that the majority of users stick with 1080p, so we focus our energy on improving our quality in this mode versus enabling 60 FPS. For me, that sounds like a...
So they have 4K on the back, but not the front.
Yeah, the front's just 1080 and the back is 4K 30.
Okay.
Which what I mostly do, I record at 60, and then if I want to do a cinematic look, I go down to 24 or 30, when then it looks good or better than 30.
Yeah.
But the thing is, people, the thing I was looking at the Pixel, I'm not bashing it too much. I think the Pixel is a good, decent phone. It's good. Like, it's not decent. It's legit, like, AAA. It's a flagship. I like it, but I would say that today's phones, that would be the most lackluster out of all of them.
Well, I guess it's more for people like me because, to be honest, front camera I don't use it enough. It's like there's people that use it a ton, and then there's those people that don't. But I think it all depends on whether you're like vlogging or you're constantly posting videos about yourself. That I can understand be a thing, but where it's like kind of for the niche market. But the thing is, you're gonna have at least 40% or even 30% of people that are gonna want that front-facing camera to be high.
That's
So
true.
it's like you're kind of, it's not at 50 there, but, and they recognize like more than 50% don't really care about it, but there's still that 40%.
That's true, and I mean the phone cost $800,
Yeah.
and for $800, I think every flagship does 4K 60.
Well, what are they like? What is the compensation there? Does it say it? Like,
No.
like we got rid of this there, or technically it's not really got rid of, but it's like we didn't implement this because we wanted to implement this. And you're like, okay, that makes sense. But
Yeah,
they
they
didn't
didn't.
put anything out there for
It's
that,
just
so.
the thing is with Google phones. The thing is they've never been good at recording video per se. Honestly, yeah, we need to close that. Thank you. They've never been good at what the fetch. Leah's in here. I'm gonna get Leah's. Okay, Leah. Oh, Leah. Leah. Okay, you can be in the podcast. There you go. Just sit there and don't talk. So anyway, the thing is with the Pixel phones, my opinion is that if you want to do video recording, don't get a Pixel phone. And honestly, since the Pixel 2, 3, all of the Pixel phones has never been good at video. They've been king at night shooting. That's henceforth like Pixel 4.
Not anymore with
Pixel
the
3.
freaking iPhone 11 coming out.
That's true. So if you want pictures, yeah, Pixel's going to do good. But honestly, versatility and for the price range, just get a Samsung or a OnePlus or even an iPhone. But anyway, peeps, let us know what you think about the Pixel 4. I think it's a good, but it's just lackluster compared to what Samsung did this year, plus OnePlus.
Yeah.
Plus OnePlus. See that? That should be a rapper.
The test.
Anyway, so apparently I saw this video. I don't know if you watched it, Oren, but there's a video showing, I think people are exaggerating quite a bit, but it says the dark mode on iPhone can save massive amounts of battery life.
Yeah, I did look at that, and I don't think it was
Massive. I wouldn't call it massive.
It wasn't massive, but I also don't think they did it completely accurate either. Like, there's definitely some flaws in their testing, but there definitely is a correlation to it saving battery. Not by a lot, but it still does save battery. So it's the difference between, oh, I have 5% left, and I barely got home, now I can charge my phone, between, oh, now it's dead.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the difference between you like barely having anything, but you know that's just you little like 5 minutes of you not being able to watch videos versus.
I think the phone buff video that they did with the machine, the fact that dark mode whenever you're out in the sun, it's hard to see.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna crank the brightness, where I would say probably 30% more, or sometimes 100% more brighter.
In ideal situations, it's not very accurate.
Yeah, you're probably going to use more brightness. So, but that's why I wouldn't call it massive. But I'm not surprised. I mean, a turned off pixel is going to use less power than a pixel that's turned on.
Yeah.
And so definitely, I think
this
it's
is
good
only
though.
with OLED though, not
Yeah.
the other version.
Yeah, let's see. Only smartphones with OLED, and so I think it's good. But people, let us know if you use dark mode all the time. I still use it on auto. Only in the mornings I turn it on manually, and then I turn it off halfway through the day.
I just think it looks better in my opinion, and also it's not glaring in your face at night.
The one thing I hate is WhatsApp. The one thing I don't like is WhatsApp with. They don't have dark mode. Facebook doesn't have dark mode. Facebook Page Manager doesn't have dark mode. It's like this. Facebook is considered one of the top 20 or top 10, depending on who you talk to, companies of profits and margins and profitability and power in the world. And you're telling me they can't get a stupid dark mode. And when did iOS come out? End of September? Halfway through September? Yeah. We're talking a whole month and a half now. And they still haven't a month and a half, and they haven't implemented dark mode.
Yeah,
into
if you're like a
their app.
major company like Google and other like Amazon and other.
Oh yeah,
things
Google
like that,
Business too, or Google YouTube Studio.
like all those should have dark mode by now. Because I'm like, come on, give it the time.
Yeah, it's like, and YouTube Studio also doesn't have it. I'm just embarrassed. It's like, you're so big and you can't make it simple dark mode. Like my LifeSum, the app I use to track calories and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That one implemented dark mode within 2 days. And I'm like, well, what are you doing? These guys are tiny. They're like the midget ant.
They have more important things to deal with, Richard. They're so big, they have to deal with those are the
Big
small
people
things.
stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing is night mode versus night sight. Apparently, I haven't seen too many articles still on the reviews, just testing. But on the testing, apparently they say quite a few are saying that night mode on iPhone is better. And I don't know if Deep Fusion is gonna affect night mode, honestly.
Yeah.
But apparently, within a week we're gonna see Deep Fusion because Beats Pro. So there's a new Beats Solo Pro headphones that require, it says on the box, 13.2, and it's coming out October 30th.
Really?
And so the rumor is it's gonna definitely come out before the 30th because people are gonna get their new headphone. If they can't sync it, then of course someone's gonna be pissed. So iOS 13.2 is coming out soon. But anyway, night mode, I went to Guatemala and I tested it, people, and it's beautiful. Like, and
Especially
then
Guatemala, like you barely have any lights there.
that's
like,
true there, yeah. There's no light pollution really. And so yeah, there it was beautiful. Plus when I got back, I tried it with some friends at a pumpkin event, like a show thingy where you just walk in a park, and
sounds very fun.
my wife and I were having the iPhone 11, and all of our friends were like two other couples, and they had the iPhone 10 and iPhone 10s, and they're like, this is embarrassing, I want your phone. And then we all, at first they used their phones, but then they saw how good ours looked, and then they're like, we need you. Like whenever they went to take a picture somewhere, they'd be like, hey, can you like yell at us and wave at us and be like, can you come over here?
No, that
It
is the
was
thing.
fun.
Like you become like, when you have the new phones with these amazing cameras, like you look like you're walking around with one of those big nice cameras,
Yeah.
and they're like, hey, can you like take my picture? Can you like send it to me and all this other stuff?
Yep.
And you're like, that's right.
It's like I like it. It brought me back to the iPhone 4S days when it was
Yeah,
like
I
way
remember
above the camera. It was like a beyond anything, and then slowly Android caught up and whatnot. And now I have that same feeling now. People, and moving into other thing that Orvin posted was the Apple AR glasses, which like I've wait, that's a YouTube link though. So never
No,
mind,
there's
I'll tap
an
that.
article below that one.
Oh, it leads you to a website. Oh no, it's called Patent Apply. Okay. So Oren, yeah, tell us real quick. We have less than 6 minutes, so you're gonna no. We have 16 minutes.
So actually, because you already covered part of this, but the part that I really wanted to go over is that they came over and they had a patent that just released. I actually don't know the exact date when it came out, but I know it was either this month or last month that it came out. That they put out a patent with the design and the look of what they kind of wanted to look like, and they wanted to look like sunglasses as much as they can, like you'd actually want to wear it. And they wanted to make the processing for the AR for these glasses to be on your iPad or your iPhone, but the more recent generations, because the processors of the new ones can be able to handle that. And the software that they want to use for that, the new iPhone and iPad will be able to use that. But a thing that he, in the video that this guy mentioned, that that another thing that was really good about it is that they wanted to have a less latency between the thing, and so they wanted to use a Wi-Fi connection between your phone into your headset using a 60 hertz Wi-Fi network.
I think that's the U1 chip that these phones come with.
Yeah, and then it would be using a new connection called the A0211A Wi-Fi, which focuses on short range. speeds, high speeds, so it'd be able to do it within a short distance of this, and you'd be able to get about 20 gigabytes per second to 40 gigabytes per second. So, and I find that freaking that's ridiculous.
Yeah, because in Bluetooth right now it's like 1 or 2.
Yeah, my phone's not even getting out with the Wi-Fi speed we have because it splits it for some reason. But yeah, like that is amazing, and you'd be able to get really good quality. But another thing that I mentioned in the video that they wanted to have 8K on the display, but I was like, that's a little pushing it. I guess they wanted 4K for each.
Yeah, I can
8K.
see that. Yeah.
And there hasn't been really anything released on that high level. I know there's people that are pushing it to up to 2K, but not up to 4K. And but yeah, so I find that really interesting. That also the AR for the thing that they wanted to have is that it has reflection on the objects in the AR, which is also a huge thing because a lot of it just kind of like you put an AR object in the real world and it has like a little shadow underneath it. That's not too realistic.
Yeah.
But to be able to have reflection off of shiny objects or anything like that is a new level of AR. So I just found that video really fascinating and wanted to share that.
That's the thing I've been telling people, man. Like Nicole and I started doing Swift because I was like, AR, it's where it's at. The next big boom, at least a big boom. I'm pretty sure it'll be.
Yeah,
Not
because
right now,
you
but
can interact with people while you're doing that, and that's a huge plus with that you won't get with VR.
Yeah, and so I think definitely AR is coming, and I don't know, I'll see if I can get this N-Team Gaming, which by the way, we have a team and stuff going in YouTube, because I want to start thinking of ideas or know at least the basics of AR. But anyway, peeps, AR, are you excited for AR glasses? I'm excited for them.
Or anything AR, because there's new other ARs going out there where they have like a pad that goes out and almost like a board, and it would accurately be able to pinpoint each object in the AR world.
Yeah.
That you won't really have with any other AR, because a lot of them kind of slightly move or get off center when you're moving around.
Yeah.
But these ones, dead center, will always be the same.
And what's it called? Minecraft Earth people.
Yeah,
it didn't come out yet, and I was expecting it to come out in October.
Me too. I was thinking, because I remember hearing that like in the summer, and now it's like it's still not out.
So we'll see about that one. The other thing was, like before we jump out of the Apple Glass thing, it just makes sense that the iPhone would, because it has so much CPU. Apple's pushing every year to have so much
Especially
CPU
with the
power.
iPads. Like I can understand that. Like
iPads
really good
too.
For that.
But imagine, Apple keeps pushing the boundaries of like I told you, they flexed their muscle with the iPhone 11 Pro being like, no one's caught us up. We're just gonna outbeat ourselves, and I'm like, that's not typical typical for a company to do, but Apple's just preparing, I think, because once
way
AR
of doing it.
once AR comes in, all that extra legway is just gonna look like that was barely enough. Like that was what we needed. But anyway, people, and then imagine the batteries. Once battery becomes, we get beyond
that was
lithium.
another thing that there was a problem with the AR, is that it would drain a lot of battery if you did that.
What if Apple releases like the new battery stuff with the AR
what if
glasses?
they worked with Tesla and had a thing where they combined together with them to work on a new phone battery?
That'd be dope.
Dude, that would be legit.
The other thing, people, I wanted to mention you, Apple News Plus. I don't know if you read it. It's $5. Oh no, fetch! It's $10 a month, I think. Or
$10?
$5.
I don't know.
For like tons of magazines. I didn't know this, but Xbox has been there for 2-3 months. And so I always like to read that magazine. And so I'm glad it came out. Just letting you know, it's in there. If you're wondering, Apple News Plus, is this darn thing worth it? Well, if you like Xbox magazine, the magazine itself is like $5-10. So I mean, you're getting that plus a lot more. But anyway, Pete, let's jump into video games. That was our tech side. We have about 10 minutes exactly. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare won't be released in Russia, but the articles are a little misquoting, because that's why I posted this other article saying in PlayStation Store. Physical copies, apparently it's still in development, the story, but physical copies will still be available in stores for PlayStation version of Call of Duty, but not on Russia? The online. Yeah. But Xbox, PC, digital or physical Modern Warfare is being on sale. So it's a weird thing with Sony.
Yeah, that is weird.
I don't get it. What's going on? And then again, if you're being butthurt about, like it says, and they haven't given a reason why, but they say it might be because the Russians are going to be portrayed in a bad image again. I'm like, well, I mean, like,
There's
that butt
history
hurts
there,
you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's there. And so it looks like I'm torturing her or whatever,
Dude, you've
but
been
trust me,
aggressively
she
petting
likes
her.
it.
She wants the attention.
You don't live with her. I know she likes it. And so, yeah, there's that. And I'm so excited. I actually have a timer going on. At 7 p.m. today, I'll be able to play it, and I'll have the campaign
Wait,
up.
so are they still doing the thing where they're gonna have only people that are on PlayStation be able to access this?
That 1 year?
survive?
So apparently, it's like a survival zombie
Yeah.
mode. Yeah, apparently they're still having it.
And they didn't change it at all after all the backlash.
Nope. But they've doubled down.
Maybe they locked into a deal with PlayStation, and that's the reason why they can't.
I
do
think so,
anything about
too.
it. They signed a contract, and now they can't.
Yeah, I think so too. And plus the fact that I personally think it's them testing the waters to when it comes to exclusive content.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're testing the waters to see how far they can push the exclusivity, because which is a dangerous road, I feel like, because if you start seeing music start doing that, like they were fighting for a whole week or two, you could listen to Taylor Swift's album first on Apple Music, or Spotify had I forgot this other artist's name, and so all these artists start fighting. It used to be quite a bit. Right now, it's kind of dying down, the exclusivity on music. It's not as prevalent, but I think on video game, Activision and PlayStation, Sony are like testing the waters.
When you're looking at like exclusivity deals, or when it's to one platform, like for Halo, like it's always been on the Xbox, and being able to say, okay, we're gonna just allow only part of Halo to be able to play with the PlayStation, like that type of thing. It's like it's always been here, and we're allowing them to access this. It's like there's less of a like saying like, oh, why don't we get the full thing? Is always because it's always been on Microsoft. They can do what they want.
Yeah.
But on these ones, it's like because it's always been on all the platforms, and then they're being able to cut out only certain sections of it that you can play. It's like just getting like punched in the balls. It's like,
yeah, that's what they're doing. Honestly, I think they're just testing. I think to see how far they can push
test the waters
exclusivity
of our tolerance. And I feel like we've always been tested, man. We're always being tested all the time when it comes to like these big companies. Like how far can we push the buttons of our customers, and how much are they willing to allow us to go?
Yeah.
Because if they're willing to allow it, then like heck, let's keep on doing it, because they're gonna allow us to do it. And so we really need to start standing up. But it's hard when you have certain people that just
the whales.
Yeah, the whales, man. Oh my god.
This other article that I got was League of Legends is coming to iOS and Android in 2020. So people, the reason why I brought it up again is because
Wait, don't they already have like
Arena of Valor
Yeah.
is definitely just, this is the thing with Tencent. They don't care what wins as long as they win. Problem is they own all these, so they don't care. They win. Oh, we lost here. Well, this one wins. Arena of Valor, I'm not surprised if they're gonna keep pumping up updates every month, and still make it as if League of Legends never came out. And I'm not gonna be surprised if there's still players in there. People that are so used to it, they're not gonna care for League of Legends. If they get rid of Arena of Valor, then I'd be actually surprised, because I'd be like, okay, Tencent, but
it will stay.
Yeah, they will just
there's
keep
nothing,
it.
They already have it implemented there. You do a few updates once a month, or maybe even 3 months, and there's still people playing, still people putting money into it. They're not losing anything.
Yep.
All they have to do is maintain the servers, and that's about it.
There's the other article, though, because we're running out of time. 5 minutes, people. I wanted to talk about real quick. Bethesda can suck it hard. They just announced a subscription service for Fallout 76, which I think it's a yearly, $100 or something like that. It's a ridiculous amount, and you get unlimited storage, which writes pay to win. Right there and there.
What the F?
Unlimited storage
They're
and exclusive.
really doing this?
Yeah, they just came out 2 days ago, I think, or 3 that they announced it. And I just caught up on it today in the morning. So I don't remember the exact pricing, but yeah, it's between $50 to $100 a year, and it just allows you all unlimited storage plus extra perks here and there, which I forgot what they were.
Dude, they take the whole concept of shooting yourself in the foot to a new extreme. Like,
And
it's
like-
like shooting yourself in the gut to the point where there's a giant wound mark that you can see all the way through you. Like they just shot themselves.
Apparently it's monthly, never mind. It's $13 a month. or you can pay $100 for a whole year.
Or you could do an Xbox subscription of the Ultimate and then do $15 a month, and then boom, you get all the games you want.
I know, it's like, that's the thing, man. It's like, we're talking, even if you pay a year, that's $8.33 a month, which is definitely Xbox Game Pass. You can't pay a year, so technically you're competing with that. But then again, you get so much value out of that.
Is it only for that game though?
Yeah, Valve 76. Yeah, it's exclusive for it. It's kind of like a boost of an XP or
Okay,
something.
if anyone actually does this, I feel sorry for them.
And it says players who join Fallout first will also receive 1,650 atoms, the game's term for real world money. Anyway, it says, I think it also includes access to premium mods.
So what they're trying to say is, hey, you actually get the game now. You pay this, and we'll give you the full game without all this bull crap.
Yeah, so I think, like I said, they're testing the waters. They already sunk the ship. Might as well see how many people dive down to tell them, hey, there's treasure down there, and let's see who makes it and who doesn't. And then if enough people go, they'll be like, hey, next game, we'll do the same. Until it collapses. So people, please.
They're really riding this thing hard to the ground.
Stop. Fallout 76 is their Trojan horse demo testing facility. This thing is the testing of them to see how bad they can screw you in the butthole. That's what Fallout 76 is. Can they do it? And honestly, that's what I see, because you remember they said no pay to win ever. Yeah, exactly, and they're slowly doing it. So just stop. And talking about people that screwed up, Ubisoft has delayed Watch Dogs, the new Watch Dogs, and some other game till 2020 because apparently Breakpoint didn't perform as well as they did, which I'm not surprised. The game's a piece of crap in a sense of, it's not a bad game per se, but in the sense of AAA Ubisoft sequel to Wildlands, Ghost Recon branding. It's kind of like a Tom Clancy's made a Barney book, or a book about Rapunzel. You'd be like, okay.
A Barney book.
It's just like, I'm not surprised. I saw the game, my cousin wanted it, and then he was excited, dude. He was going to pay the most expensive version. He's like, I'm going to pay the season pass, everything. And then when it came out and he saw reviews and he kind of looked more into
always
it.
Wait, man.
He was like, wait a second, this game doesn't look good. And then I'm like, exactly. Now he's just considering getting the basic version. Because he still likes the concept. But he went from, I'm going to spend $150 down to, I'll probably spend $60. That's the kind of damage that this game did to itself. And my cousin's a hardcore Ghost Recon lover. And so he doubted himself. And the thing is, people, it was just so recycled and so much crap. You can look it up anyway. It's garbage. But anyway, if you enjoy, let us know why.
It's a dumpster dump right there.
I think if you pay $30 to $60 and you enjoy it, bless your heart. But definitely I can see that the marketing was so overhyped. It was just exaggerated, make me a little gross inside. But anyway, Last of Us...
part of me died.
Exactly, I threw up in my mouth. Last of Us Part 2, another sad news is it's been delayed till May 2020. So there we go. I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm like, okay, delay it. As long as it's good, I'm okay.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like it's going to be worth it when it does come out.
Yeah, I think as long as they take their time, I'm okay. Plus, I'll be bashing... I forgot when Cyberpunk comes out. I think February. So, or I think, no, March. So definitely it's a month in between games, at least for me, it's going to be nice. And then Doom, it's like, yeah, we need time.
When is Doom coming out?
Spring 2020. I forgot which month.
I thought it was going to come out.
And then now this game comes out spring, Cyberpunk comes out spring, and then there's Avengers game coming out spring, and then there's another one I forgot that I was looking forward to.
That's a lot of games.
There's at least 5 games that I'm looking forward to. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy. It's like, it's good that they delayed this.
Like, just tons of stuff.
Yeah, and then that'll be the nice turning point to see those games and then how they get upgraded to the next generation. We'll see, people. 2020 is going to be big. End of the world. Anyway, Diablo 4 apparently has been leaked.
It's been leaked. So there's a person in Germany that they saw this magazine, I guess, and they took a picture of it, and it mentioned Diablo 4 in the text, that they will have releasing these stories for each one, and they even said Diablo 4.
Okay.
So it's leaks saying, hey, Diablo 4 is a thing, it's going to happen, which we already kind of speculated and already knew about because of last BlizzCon, where it's like what went down there, and there's talk about, they never confirmed it, but there was rumored talk about that they are actually planning on releasing a trailer, like a really short trailer for Diablo 4, but they never did, and then they said just only stuck with Diablo Immortal, which we already know how that went. Do you have phones?
Yeah.
Don't you have phones? Something like that.
And then Diablo 2 remaster. I'm excited. I'd definitely like to revisit that game.
That was mainly rumored on somebody that posted on Reddit, which was a reliable source. This person's in the past got things right, and they posted that Diablo 4 and Diablo 2 remaster will be there.
I'm down. BlizzCon, let's do it. People, just to finish out, I'm not going to talk about it. I played Fortnite Chapter 2 and it's dope. Warren doesn't care. And
no, we didn't care at all.
And then Apple TV Plus versus Netflix. There's quite a few articles coming out right now online because Apple TV Plus launches the 1st of November. And most of them are like, is it going to work? Is it not? Is it like this? I'm like, dude, at first it's not. Like at first, Netflix is king. Apple TV
Netflix was kind of crap. Like all the stuff that you couldn't see at the very beginning were all like, these are all kind of just crap movies no one really cares
Exactly.
about.
And then Netflix became, so I can see the same for Apple TV, except there'll be good things in there, I'm sure. But we'll see. At first, I don't think it's a big deal if people are wondering if it's worth it.
I think they're just wondering, like, you never want to be first, but you also never want to be last. Like, are they being last on this? Like, really just jump in?
So we'll see what happens with that. The one thing I wanted to finish with people, by the way, I bought the new iPhone, so I get a year of that for free, which is nice. Amma does too. But then it's just real quick before we finish. I'm just gonna talk about this thing that some people were asking me. It's mostly for the Spanish podcast, but remember, just because you're chubby or fat doesn't mean you're well nourished. Apparently, Guatemala, my home country, is falling with this chronic malnutrition thing that people are chubby, but they're not feeding themselves well. They're just getting big, but they don't have much in their bodies, and so they're trying to educate people on that sense.
Dude, that actually reminds me of a conference talk of he talked about where there's deer, and it was a really tough winter, and then they wanted to make sure that these deer didn't die, and so they gave them hay. But then when they checked by the end of the winter, they were all dead, and their stomachs was full of hay. Like. They never really, like, they ate it all, but the problem was it didn't nourish them, and they died.
Exactly. So just fill your mouth with crap and expect, crap will come out, but don't expect good, results. Golden egg pop out of your butthole.
Oh my God. I don't think anyone's expecting anything good to come out of their butthole when they eat it.
So you have a minute and a half, Warren, to tell people about that controller. I'll tell you when you can start. You can start in one now. Minute and a half.
All right. So Call of Duty Mobile came out just recently, and my brother Ammon has been looking into doing it so you can map. So this allows it, which is a WASP 2, I think it is.
Okay.
And allows it so you can map the controls to your touch screen, being able to play PUBG, Fortnite, or any of those other games.
60 seconds.
And you'd be able to map your controls to that, and it has trigger all the buttons. You can map everything, and it definitely improves the way that you play. And I really like it, and you should consider getting it.
What's the cost?
Nice case. Cost is about $55.
Amazon?
Amazon, yeah, and I originally didn't want to buy it because it was a little too expensive, but then Ammon said he bought one. There's something wrong with the order, and then he sold it for $40, and so I bought it.
Okay, that was it. That was the WASP. What's it called?
Just WASP 2, I guess.
WASP 2?
I don't know if there's anything else after that, but it's WASP 2, and it's part of I forgot the company name. It was... But yeah, if you search up WASP 2, it would show up.
Okay. Well, people, that's the episode for today. Thank you for joining us. Remember, like it if you like it. Sub if you want to sub and see the rest of the episodes coming up or the ones past episodes. Plus, hit the bell so you get notified whenever I post, I don't know, reviews, tech videos, and whatnot. If you want to know more about Modern Warfare, let us know. And if you need a shoulder to cry because Last of Us has been delayed together with Doom and Fallout 76 is screwing you in the
Just imagine
butthole.
You had cancer, and then you're like, I'm gonna die, and then okay, play it.
Yeah.
That's depression.
Yeah, that's a dark thought.
Okay, I should.
Anyway,
Ending
people,
on that.
that's what we'll end it at, and we'll talk to you all next time. Peace out.
See ya.